Hello, and welcome to Consumed, where real people tell me what they're really into right now for real. This week, we're going to be talking to everybody's favourite Nick Mills. Nick Mills! Hello, Nick Mills. What's your name and where'd you come from?
My name's Nick, and I'm from London.
Yes, I was really hoping someone was going to go full 90s game show.
Yeah,
It's Blind
it's
Date.
Blind Date, isn't it?
Yeah, perfect. Exactly, that is it. Fantastic. Well, thanks for coming on the show, Nick. Do you want
Thanks
to
for having
tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and, maybe how we know each other or whatever?
So, my name's Nick. I met Alex in the home county's town of Harpen in Hertfordshire. Alex asked me to be in his funk rock band in the year 2004, probably
Maybe, yeah.
2004.
I think so.
I was 14 at the time. And I was a young upstart drummer in the local music scene.
I still use you as a barometer of age. So, like, I saw Tommy Fleetwood, the golfer, because he's out in the sun all the time. He's really brown, and his skin has aged. And I was like, that guy's 34. I was like, he's younger than Nick. He's younger than Nick.
I was actually having a conversation at work today about how it used to freak my friends out that I was born in the 90s. And
Yeah,
how
that's
that
true.
like really is just not a brag at all anymore. But
No,
it really
definitely
used
not.
to be. Really used to
Absolutely.
be.
I know, hilarious. Well, it's actually this year is the 20th anniversary of when our funk rock band disbanded.
Disbanded, not even
2006.
started.
Yeah. No,
That's
it
crazy.
ended 20 years ago. I know. Madness. Which got me thinking about the fact that we should make a documentary because this weekend I watched the Take That documentary.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Me too.
What did you think?
Sensational. Incredible. Absolutely loved it. I mean, in terms of like sort of outfit inspiration, just endless, I think. Especially in that first episode. Some of the looks just absolutely wild. But like also sorry, you
Go
go.
on. No.
I was just going to say, like, not necessarily their stage looks, because obviously the stage looks are just completely outrageous. But like their everyday looks, like just their casual wear, just like great.
Yeah, well, it's the early 90s, isn't it? I
Yeah,
mean, no, actually, they formed in the year you were born. If we're going
What a
off
year.
the barometer. Yeah, I know.
I was also talking about that today at work. We were talking about what was number one when you were born.
Oh yeah, what was number one?
So I've got a really strong duo. So in the United Kingdom, Sinead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You was number one. And in the US, Paula Abdul, Opposites Attract.
Wow, great, fantastic. I know what mine is in the UK. It's Billy Ocean, When the Going Gets Tough.
Amazing, yeah.
Big tune.
A stars across
tune.
the board.
Yeah, I mean, I've not even checked that out for my kids yet, which is weird because I checked out who was born on their birthdays, famous people, and hilariously, Bonnie was born on the same day as Harry Kane, which was like the last footballer I'd want her to be born on the same day.
Well,
But it's interesting that when we talked about Take That, you went straight into the outfits because I was thinking and the looks, because I was thinking that actually on this chat, we probably might chat a bit more about clothes.
Yeah.
Than most other people would chat with because we're both into clothes. And if people are watching this on YouTube, because I'm going to upload it there, you'll notice that me and Nick are both wearing hats and glasses and headphones and have beards.
Yeah, we do.
Not that we copy
similar.
each other's. We're not copying each other's style. I think it's a Pisces thing.
Yeah, it's in the cosmos.
Yeah, but I found the Take That show was very much it felt like a very much a Gary Barlow vehicle. Trying to tell his story.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to hear from Howard and Jason though. But like I always love this, but I don't know why I love it. But when Gary Barlow got fat is just so excellent. You just look like such an average bloke down the pub all of a sudden. And then he had his big comeback, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I think it was interesting as well for him to say, because he was using Take That as like a vehicle for his solo career. And so it was interesting that he said that he didn't really feel like he was part of the band until they got back together again in like 2005, which is quite an interesting way of putting it, actually.
Yeah,
Because
and I would also say that like you can really tell by the footage that he didn't feel like he was part of the band, because he, when like again going back to the clothes, it's like sometimes certain people it really looks like the clothes are wearing them. And I
Yes.
feel like for Gary, that was very much the case. Whereas, like, if you just compare like him, especially to like Mark and Robbie just look really cool. Whereas Gary's wearing these like same outfits. He's wearing the same clothes as they are, but he just looks so like wrong in.
Yeah. I mean, he said it himself though that, he wasn't
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I also love the like the sort of double life thing when he's doing his like his solo shows at the Working Men's Club, and it just looks so lame. It's like him at his little keyboard with his little
At
Gary
the Brit
Barlow,
at the British
like
Legion, yeah.
yeah, yeah, and then he's going to these like gay clubs in Manchester, which
Yeah.
like those nights must have been absolutely amazing. Like I would have loved to have gone to like these crazy gay nights in Manchester in the early 90s. It must have been absolutely incredible. But really, like he probably just wanted to get back to the Legion.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. They look wild. When they're just, like, bouncing around on stage, like,
Yeah,
oh, man,
yeah.
it looked absolutely wild,
I re-
hilarious.
yeah, loved seeing all of that footage. Like yeah, amazing.
Yeah, there's loads of it as well, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's been loads of those kind of documentaries now where you don't actually see the people talking. So obviously there was the Wham documentary as well,
Yeah,
which is really well made because obviously they're just using George Michael's clips from interviews that he's
yeah,
done,
yeah,
obviously,
yeah,
and just woven it into a narrative and made it seem like he's done a voiceover. And obviously Andrew Ridgeley's probably done a bit, but like, yeah,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
also great as well. Did you watch Boy Bands Forever on BBC?
No, no, I haven't
This
seen that.
this was probably last year sometime, but basically like a bit like the Take That doc where you're looking back at these boy bands from the 90s, but it was just
Mhm.
man, that like all of those bands just got like absolutely like worked to the bone and they just basically all had mental breakdowns. It's kind of awful watching back at what
Yeah, and when you think that they were all like 16-year-old kids as
Yeah,
well, it's like they
yeah.
weren't even adults.
Yeah, it's nuts. I don't know if the industry's still like that, but you kind of hope not because surely everyone's woken up to it now. It works so differently these days as well, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, you'd hope that there'd be a little bit more safeguarding in place now, but I don't know. I dare say it might not have really come on that far,
Yeah,
but I
maybe
wouldn't
not.
know because unfortunately the opportunities of being in a boy band have passed me by.
Yeah, it was because you were in a funk rock band instead. You missed that. There was also a girl bands forever as well, which had a similar vibe.
Hmm.
They were chatting to like Mel Blatt, and she was also and she just felt like burnt out from the whole experience. So yeah, everybody's dream. That's what everybody wants. Oh, it's good. Anyway, so what other music have you been consuming?
So I was thinking about this in the days leading up to our record, and I feel like I always have tried to stay on like the pulse of new music, keeping up to date with stuff that's happening. But I feel like in the past couple of years, I've not been as good at that. Like I feel like perhaps when you get to a certain age, there comes a point where you're just like, oh, like I can't keep keeping up. Um,
The uppies. I can't keep
yeah.
the uppies.
So there's so many new bands and artists around that I just don't really know anything about. Like I feel like now when I see festival posters, I'm like, I don't know any of these names at all. But in terms of new/new-ish music, I think the best stuff that I've heard that I've just got instantly completely into, like, to an obsessive level has been Dijon and McGee. They are well, yeah, they're kind of from the same scene. They work together. Both I think they're both originally from the East Coast, but they're now based in LA. McGee used to play guitar for Dijon, now has his own solo career. And they just the it's the first first couple of artists where it feels like I'm listening to something that's like really like new. Like they're pushing music forward in quite a dramatic way.
What kind of music?
Well, it's interesting because it's like they're pushing forward in a way that's really, really exciting because nothing sounds like what they do, but their influences are all very much bedded in certain eras and stuff. So it's and I feel like that's kind of where music generally is now. Anyway, you can always hear where the influences have come from.
I think that's just being old.
Perhaps, yeah. But the way they do it, it's kind of like in their like production and their kind of approach. Because like for McGee, for example, kind of the most basic explanation of what his sound is that I've heard is that it basically sounds like the Police on ketamine. Because he
I'm
has this.
assuming you mean the band, the Police, not
Yeah,
just the
yeah,
police force.
yeah. Because it's like it's definitely got this like 80s vibe to it. The guitar work, he's an incredible guitarist. I think he was like sort of like properly like trained in jazz. Like he's an incredible musician. A lot of his guitar work is very reminiscent of the Police. His voice, he's got a fairly like high registered voice, and the way that it's affected kind of has a kind of Sting esque sound to it. It's also like the production's very like it's almost like swampy, and it kind of feels like everything feels like it's kind of underwater, and everything's like slowed down, and like it feels like you kind of have to when you listen to it, it's like you're crawling through this like sludge, but with this like kind of 80s general sound around it. Uh,
Sounds like your ideal music, is what I would
well,
say.
This is the thing that this is another thing I was thinking about when I was getting the train home from work just now. I I think the music that I get the most excited about is music that I'm deeply jealous of. So, like, if I
Like,
hear
take that.
yeah, yeah, in a way. Like, if I hear something and I'm like, "Oh my god," like, "I wish that I'd written that," or like, "I wish that I'd had that idea," or "I wish I was talented enough to be able to make that." Like, when I hear something that I wish I'd made, I'm like, I absolutely love it. And I listen to when I find stuff that I really, really like, I listen to it in a very obsessive way. Like, I'll just listen to the same song, like, over and over and over and over and over again.
The same with music. I'll find a new album and I'll listen to it, like, constantly.
Yeah, yeah. With one of McGee's tracks is it came out at the end of 2024, so it's not even really that new now, but, this song of his, Rockman. I got so into it that I was I was doing it was as if I was, like, DJing in a club, and I was doing, like I was wheeling it up like within like 30 seconds of it playing, but just listen to it on Spotify. Like I'd let like 30 seconds start and be like, I need to take that from the top again. So I'd just be like, listen to it and like going back to the beginning after like, yeah, 20, 30 seconds, just like, this is so good. I need to hear it from the top again. So yeah, yeah,
Only 30 seconds in, but I need to hear the first 30
yeah,
seconds
yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I get really. I essentially I'll either listen to a new song once and be like, yeah, cool, or I'll get really crazy with it and yeah, just go hardcore and just keep me starting.
Are you still DJing in the places in Mayfair?
No. That's
No.
long gone. I'm virtually, and I'm not mad about this. I'm pretty much exclusively a wedding DJ for my friends now.
Fair enough.
Which is really fun because especially now, being kind of mid-30s, it's like you just get to play all the songs from your entire kind of lifespan of being a music lover because everyone from the same generation reacts the same way to hearing songs from.
When you put on Mr. Brightside.
You know what? As lame as it is, I haven't played it at every wedding that I've played, but when I have when I have played it, it is undeniable. It
Yeah.
is undeniable.
We never did that when we played in a wedding band for those. We did like
No,
2 weddings, didn't we? We never did it, did we? No. I'm
no, I don't
I'm
think we
pleased we
would
didn't.
though. I think
No,
I think
we
well,
were too
I
cool.
think I don't have higher standards, but other people in the band would
That's
have higher
true.
standards.
Yeah, me and Tom would definitely
Yeah,
would have vetoed that.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I listened to a new album this week. Have you heard of a artist called Tyler Ballgame?
No.
Yeah. So I heard him a few months ago on, Jules Holland, which is where
Mhm.
every middle-aged man gets his new music. And then Spotify gave it to me on Friday because the new album came out and they were like, I think you'll like this. And I was like, I do like this. But he's an artist from, it's like kind of folky kind of Americana, like almost like a little bit more alternative though.
Mhm.
He's got a really interesting voice. It's quite soulful.
Mm.
He's got like huge range. It's just really quite
Yeah.
interesting. so like music, but like it's kind of quite straight up. It's like, you know, drummer, bass, guitar,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
keys kind of vibe, but it's good. Like
Yeah,
me, it's good.
I liked what you were saying on your previous episode with Becky Allen, um, about how you're just kind of you're into like vibe based music
Vibe
instead.
based music. I think we've
Because
talked about this before. Yeah.
yeah, but I would totally agree, and I think the music that McGee and Dijon make very much fits into that. It's very vibey. Like a lot of their songs, they're almost not really songs; they're just like ideas, and quite a lot of their songs are very short as well, which kind of like could, in a way, could go against the whole vibe thing, but they're just these, like, snippets of, like, energy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, some of the songs, do lean more pop and but they've got, like, big hooks, like, it's especially in the production, it's, like, very soundscapey, but not because it's not, like, cinematic or anything, it's, like it's just very I don't know, I think I was talking to Tom about what I sent him some McGee
Tom
stuff.
used to be in our band. I just have to
Yeah, yeah, Tom Beecham. I'm hoping he'll be a future guest on the pod.
imagine Tom would be a future guest. Yeah, yeah.
And I remember sending him McGee when I first heard it, and he was like, "Oh, like, what do you even call this, like, genre of music?" And I was like, "I think it's, like, post-laptop," because in the sense that, like, you can create any type of music on a laptop now, like, which is great. I think the sort of advancements in music production technology and the way that if you're dedicated enough to learn how to use the software, you can make something as good as would previously only have been possible in like a studio that's going to cost you thousands of pounds. I think that's really great. But the way that McGee and Dijon's music sounds, it's like it's taking all of that like ease of access, like everything's at your fingertips. You can kind of do whatever you want then and there. I think their music kind of sounds like that. So even though a lot of their I'd say like a lot of McGee's influences are kind of very much in the 80s, Dijon's spans like these 90s and like early 2000s, but the way that it's produced sounds so futuristic. And I think it's because of how you are able to just like chop stuff up, put it all back together again at like the click of a finger sort of thing.
I think sometimes as well when you've got a short little, because you were saying they had short little tracks and short little
Mm,
vibes almost.
yeah.
Sometimes it's like a little snapshot of that piece of creativity, if you know what I
Mm,
mean? And sometimes, especially when you're trying to be creative, you're like, "Oh, I've got one idea here and another idea here. How do I try and smoosh them together to make
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
perfect
yeah,
pop song?"
yeah,
And you're like, "Well, actually, do you even need to? Like, you just leave them alone. Like, here's one, here's
yeah,
another one. This was me when I was on a Friday. This is what I was thinking on the Saturday morning."
yeah, yeah,
But they're two
totally.
different things.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they've gone for.
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching a podcast with I can't remember his name, but it was one of the producers that worked with Dijon on his latest album. And he was saying that like when they were like tracking vocals, Dijon wouldn't even really have written any lyrics. He'd just kind of like just freestyle melodies and stuff. And they wouldn't even be necessarily like wearing headphones or having like a fancy mic. It would just be like a handheld mic in the room. Wouldn't even necessarily be a studio. It could just be like his wherever he was recording the song. So like the track would be coming out the speakers. So you'd be picking up the track through the microphone as well as the vocal and just all like the ambient noise of the room. But that's the vocal that they would then use on the actual version of the track. So even that kind of way of recording creates this again, like the vibe, because you've got all this extra ambient noise that previously producers would want to get rid of and wouldn't want to have, you'd want like a dead silent, perfect vocal take. But the way Dijon's doing, it's just like he's just holding a mic in the room, everything's blaring, and it just creates these really, really
Creates the
interesting
sound.
textures. So yeah, I went to see him a couple of weeks ago as well at Brixton Academy, and it was incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Great.
yeah,
Oh, I've
yeah,
not been to a gig for so long.
yeah.
It's
No,
hard with young children.
the good gigs. Oh yeah, I was thinking I'm the first non-parent guest we've had in.
That's true, actually, yeah.
Yeah,
No chat about children, we could leave them. That's fine. So when I was thinking about chatting to you, obviously I was thinking about music, but then I was also thinking about style and
yeah,
clothes.
yeah,
We've
yeah,
already touched on that. And so one of my friends just before Christmas, or I think, he was just chatting on at me about how random my clothes were. And Amy was like, "No, they are very thought out, even though they look random. I was like, no, they are. And then I showed him my Pinterest boards for different looks that I'm like trying to do. And he was like, oh, right. Okay. That's weird. Do you do anything like that when you're trying to, piece together an outfit or something like that? Or do you just find something that you like, okay, what can I team this up with? Because I basically went through to get inspiration and thought, actually, I like this guy's look or this guy's look. And I just kind of took things from it
Yeah.
because, I'm not walking down the high street in London anymore seeing fashionable people. So I have to go online to find them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess I'm kind of lucky in that I work slap bang in the middle of Soho and also live in Hackney. So it's all just there at your fingertips, really. I think my thing is that I don't really I don't care about fashion. Like, I'm not into fashion. I don't know anything about, like, labels, designers, brands. Like, I think it's more for me, it's more about just finding stuff that works on me with, like an idea of the look that I'm going for, but, yeah, I'm not bothered about, like, where the clothes come from or, like, because I think that's, like, I've never really understood that, like, the whole when you go more into, like, the, like, Instagrammy, like, fit accounts and stuff. It's like, "Oh, these jeans are from here, this coat's from here." It's like, I've never cared about that at all.
No. I mean, I think what's also helped me is Vinted. It's just, you can just find whatever
Yeah.
you want on there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
great.
totally,
Vinted's brilliant.
totally.
It's really, really good.
Yeah. I think for and also, like, I kind of, like, try and work out, like, a silhouette.
Hmm.
So in terms of, like, the fit of the fit of a jeans and a jacket and a coat, I'll, like, find, like, a silhouette that works, and then I'll just try and, like, buy loads of stuff that fits that silhouette.
Yeah, nice, nice. Like at the moment, short denim jacket. Is that you go for short denim jacket?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
this is the jacket I'm wearing is it's a women's vintage Levi's jacket. I know I said I don't care about brands, but Levi's is one that I do care about. But because it's women's, well, because for the listeners and anyone who is not familiar with my stature, I'm a mere 5'4" in height, which can lead to difficulty when it comes to buying clothes, especially when you're aiming for a particular silhouette. So yeah, this is the jacket I'm wearing at the moment is it's a women's Levi's jacket, and because of that, it's a little bit more cropped, so it kind of sits on the waistline quite nicely. Yeah, and then just straight leg jeans, nothing like too baggy. That's a thing that is in the last sort of 4 or 5 years has very much taken over everyone that you see in London. It's like everyone's jeans are just like crazy baggy,
Yeah. Well, I
which
mean,
is
I remember
fine.
that the first time around. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, right? I had a pair of like ridiculous criminal damage jeans when I was like 12 years old. And I'm kind of like, well, I'm not just going to start wearing those again because it's now cool, because
Yes,
that just feels a bit silly.
I
It's like
agree.
I've
I
already
agree.
done that.
Yeah. 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 No, I totally agree.
So I just like a pair of like standard straight leg jeans, Levi's 501s or something similar. Again, not bothered if they are
Not
501s or
bothered
not.
about brands, but they have to be Levi's.
No, no, no. I'm not they don't have to be 501s, but like something similar to that, just like a classic straight leg, pair of boots. I mean, these Henley t-shirts that I'm wearing, these are just from Uniqlo, but I love them because
Yeah.
they're like a
I don't know how well
perfect.
this is going to go down on the audio format.
That's
Nick's
true.
wearing
That's
a
true.
white t-shirt.
With little button up
Yeah, with little
waffle.
buttons.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
You have wait for the YouTube to
Yeah, well, yeah, you
experience
have
that
to
in
watch
full.
this is me trying to get more views on YouTube by just describing what everyone's wearing. If you want to see it, you're gonna have to watch it on YouTube. Cool. So, I forgot to ask you at the beginning, have you had your dinner yet? Because I know you've just come in from work.
No, no, I only just got in from work. I've had the same dinner 2 nights in a row, and I'm
Okay.
probably gonna have it again this evening because there's still some left. It's egg fried rice, with some yeah, brown rice with egg and some edamame beans and some ginger and garlic. So don't let anyone ever tell you that MSG is bad for you. It's not true. Makes everything taste delicious.
Is this homemade or from a
Yeah,
Chinese?
yeah, yeah, homemade.
Oh, okay, nice, nice. Yeah.
And then topped with some vegan, like, fake duck,
Okay.
like, fake crispy duck.
I
I'm
was
not
gonna
vegan.
try and make that into one word, but I'll have to bleep it out. Fake duck.
I'm I'm not vegan, but we had it in the freezer, so that's what's been used. This week's been very much a kind of, like, use up stuff
Yeah, classic.
situation. So that's
Absolute
why
classic.
it's been the same thing 3 nights in a row because we just did a big batch of it. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, fried
nice.
rice with fake duck on top.
So what have you been consuming with your eyes then on screens? That's a strange way of putting that question.
Well, we've already covered take that, obviously. The
Mhm.
big development in this household has been, uh, roller coaster YouTube.
God, please tell me more.
So
It sounds great.
this basically started completely out of the blue. I was lying in bed with my partner B, and they, like, out of nowhere, just said, "So when are we going to Thorpe Park then?"
I mean, great question. I've never been actually.
I haven't been for a very long time. Also, I don't like roller coasters. Never been
Oh, right.
into them. Not that into it. B also isn't really that fussed about roller coasters. So this inquiry as to when we were going to Thorpe Park was absolutely hilarious. And then that spawned. I was like, yeah. So they were like, "Oh, when are we going to Thorpe Park?" Then and I was like, "Okay, well, we can go soon, maybe." So we watched some rides on YouTube. So I just put on like the coaster ride through videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it turned out that they're like really, really relaxing to watch before going to bed. So we started off watching, yeah, like all the Thorpe Park rides, like ride throughs. And it was like, I think it's because it's quite hypnotic because you're just kind of like watching the track like twist and turn. So it turned out to be a really good way to wind down before going to sleep. But then through that, we then discovered like essentially like theme park YouTube. So that there's all these accounts that go to all these theme parks, like theme park influencers essentially. And our favorite channel now is Coaster Studios.
What are they
Um,
like?
they're a lovely, like really wholesome couple. They live in Orlando, obviously. So they got pick of the roost.
Those Yeah, exactly.
So and they go all over the world, blogging, vlogging all these theme parks. So they do a series every summer called Coasting Through Europe. That's
How many subscribers are they?
I think they've got about I think it's like 80K. So it's not a
Yeah.
huge scene. It's still quite niche.
Yeah.
But we're now fully part of that scene. Even though we don't really have any interest in going to any of these theme parks whatsoever. Because I mean B gets travel sick after like 10 minutes in a car, let alone being on a roller coaster. But it really sent me down a wormhole because it then kind of made me again, as you know, I'm like very much a sucker for nostalgia, thrive off nostalgia. So that then kind of like took me back to like going to like Thorpe Park and Alton Towers and Chessington World of Adventures.
I was gonna say Chessington seemed to be the one when
Yeah, well, it's interesting because Thorpe Park. Oh no, sorry, Alton Towers. That was like the big one, right?
yeah.
When we were kind of
Yeah,
young.
yeah.
But I was watching a video last night because this does now like completely consume my consumption. It's all I
Consumes your
watch.
consumption.
Yeah, and well, apparently Alton Towers has had a real fall from grace, and
Oh,
it's now
because
no.
someone lost their leg?
Indeed, it's that they've never recovered from that incident. So and now Thorpe Park is the big one in the UK. So yeah, so I've been watching a lot of that, and it's
I
quite
am gonna check this out actually. What were they called again? Your
Coaster
favorite channel?
Studios.
Coaster Studios.
Yeah.
I actually this weekend, I actually started playing Roller Coaster Tycoon with Bonnie,
Yeah.
which is quite hard for her to control. So basically, I'm playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. She's just like, "Put that tree there," and I'm like, "All right." I'm like, "Do you want to put a carousel in?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Where do you want to put it?" She's like, "There," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll put it there. There you go." And then she'll carry on watching TV, and I'll just carry on playing by myself. But it's great, loving it. It's such a great game. So yeah, really good. So if you were on a desert island, what dessert would you eat? I said desert, didn't I? Did I say desert?
You did.
If you were on a desert island, what dessert would you eat first?
I would request a plate of sashimi.
Fair enough.
And this is
Please explain.
because I don't really have a sweet tooth.
I already knew this.
And I think that if yeah, so I'm not really a dessert guy. It always feels very sort of unnecessarily indulgent. I never particularly enjoy the experience. But if I was on a desert island and someone just came over with like like an iced tray of slices of raw fish, that would be the best thing I could ever wish for. And
Fine.
to be fair, like take the island out of the equation, at the end of any meal, if someone came up to me and was like, "Would you like this now?" And it was a plate of sashimi, I'd be like, "Yeah, that's the best thing you could have possibly brought over right now." So yeah, it's a plate of sashimi, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah, mate, it's just a there's no rules.
If we were going a little bit more tradish, let's say, again still I would go for a cheese board over any kind
Yeah,
of actual sweet dessert.
also absolutely fine. A fine answer. No, I've got a sweet tooth. Not that I don't like cheese. I do like
I
cheese. Not into raw
I
fish that much, though.
oh no, yeah, no, I do really like it. I I think I basically fulfilled my sort of lifetime quota of sweet things when I was a child,
Mhm.
which you wouldn't expect considering my dad is a retired
Was it
dentist.
just yeah, it's true.
But the advice that he was giving out at work never really seemed to follow him home. So it was more or less a free for all. Um, so I was as a child absolutely loved any kind of chocolate based item. Uh, ate a lot of chocolate cake at any opportunity. I think I can't remember whose birthday it was, whether it was mine or whether it was my brother's or somebody else's in the family. We were cutting up the cake, and I'd already had my slice because I was probably the youngest, so probably got the first slice. I'd boshed that down. My auntie Julie had just received her slice of cake, walked straight over to her and said, "Can I borrow that?" Immediately took it straight off her and ate that slice as well.
Wow. I mean, that's
So
great.
yeah, so I've had my fill. Yeah.
Anyway, Nick, thank you for coming on Consumed.
Thank you for having me.